Since we've had them now for a full year, I think it's important to be able to provide you a compare and contrast with their actual performance that we've experienced against what they state that these birds will do. So as we get toward the end of the video, I'll provide that comparison. Hey, we don't typically name our birds, but these two are kind of special birds to us, and they have to do something special in order to get that name. So this one happens to be Judy.
And this one's Squatty.
We're going to tell you exactly why they got those names, but we wanted to talk about this breed as a whole. This breed, in my opinion, they're the best birds we have. So how did Judy get her name? She, along with Squatty, wound up deciding last year that they wanted to become mamas, and they wound up hatching out for us out of the dozen that we started with. We split the dozen between both of these birds, and we got 7 of them to successfully hatch. We wound up losing 2 of them and ultimately ended up with 5. So that's currently what they were able to give us last year. That's something that is very important to me as far as being able to produce birds here on our own property. So these 2 girls get a little bit of extra street cred in my book.
Yep, they're very sweet. I like to call them ladies.
I had never even heard of them last year, and my son-in-law said, hey, I've been hearing some pretty good things about the Novogen birds. Let's give them a try. And so I said, yeah, sure, why not? We wound up getting these birds from Freedom Ranger Hatchery, and we ordered 20 birds. They sent us 22. We lost like 9 of them actually because they were delayed in transit. So by the time they got to us, they were in pretty bad shape, unfortunately. So we wound up ultimately with 14 birds. That was split between my son-in-law and daughter, and we took 7. We got these last November 2nd, and 18 weeks later, we received our first egg. And by 20 weeks, 5 months of age, all 7 of them were laying and producing.
Daily.
Yeah.
Daily.
Yeah, these birds are said to produce, what was it?
395 in 72
weeks, I believe it was.
Yes.
Yeah, so they are a very prolific egg layer. They were genetically selected and bred for that purpose. There is 5 strains within the Novogen breed. We happen to have the Novogen Browns. The thing about these birds is they're a red sex-linked bird, meaning their sex will be easily detected at birth, which is kind of a nice thing if you're getting hatchery birds, because you're going to be less likely to get roosters unless you're looking for roosters. You're going to be more likely to get all females. At birth, it's easy for them to be detected. The males are generally lighter in color and the females will be darker. These birds, as you can see, they look very much like kind of like a Rhode Island Red, because they're actually a cross between a Rhode Island Red and a Rhode Island White is what produces that genetic. Although they look very much like a Rhode Island Red, their underfeathers are white.
And it's that they originated from France in 1997.
They started laying their first eggs in February, and it's now first part of December, and they're still laying strong. We get 6 to 7 eggs every day. And all the other birds that we have currently, they've stopped laying back in October. While these birds are still going strong, the other birds have decided to pack it in for the winter. We have a Dominique, Buff Orpington, Black Australorp. Good birds in their own right, but in my opinion, these birds are far superior. I've been very, very happy with the performance of them, the egg laying capability. They're super docile. They're the most docile birds we have, would you say?
They are. The other ones we have are a little bit more skittish. These ones, you pretty much can walk right up on them and pick them up and hold them if you so choose to.
These birds are very calm, very docile, great personalities. And another thing that's been a pleasant surprise with them is that they seemingly are very heat tolerant. We wound up losing a few birds last year because of the heat that we get here where we live. It's routinely over 90 degrees all summer long. It's not uncommon for it to be over 100 degrees for weeks at a time. And last year we had a period where I think it was like 3 weeks where it was over 110 degrees. And we wound up losing some birds as a result of that. So if you're looking for something that's hardy, you know, I can speak to that aspect for these particular birds. I can't speak to the cold hardiness because it just doesn't get that cold here. You know, maybe freezing is like as cold as it gets, right?
Right. But we had some days that were like 118 and they did great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say they were like, you know, stoked about it, but
Well,
they didn't die. And
I personally wasn't stoked about it.
right. Yeah, this is black Australorp right here. Those are great birds. They're heavy scratchers. They do pretty good work in here in the compost yard. They're not nearly as, I wouldn't say, as active as these birds, these Novogens. They stay working all the time. They're in here just searching for food, and the other gals, they want to go off and just kind of hang out, and that's their choice. It's a voluntary system here we have. However, we do run this as a composting chicken yard, and that's one of the functions that these birds do provide to us. So we're looking for birds that actually engage in that manner. And so the food that we kind of laden throughout the yard, they're able to actually just all day long just search for it and find those little nuggets and morsels. So they're very useful for us in that regard. The two birds that we have given names to got those names because of a couple of things that they had done. The one we called Judy, she got that because she was actually a broody hen. So Becca named her Broody Judy. And the other was
Squatty. And she got the name of Squatty because she would come up to you and kind of squat down and spread her wings and allow you to pet her. She's very docile.
Took them a while to get settled into a normal laying pattern, but they laid a lot of double yolks, which in my opinion isn't a bad thing. I think that's a bonus. I just really like them. So I wanted to kind of bring that to your guys' attention. Able to convert feed in a way that allows them to produce and stay healthy. This one doesn't look so healthy right now because they're just entering the molt, getting ready to shed all their feathers. So she's looking kind of scraggly. But yeah, we run these birds in the springtime. Once the grass starts to grow around our property, we'll take and we'll move their chicken tractor / coop, and then we'll run them in electro netting behind the cows that we have and allow them to work the pasture. And they just love that. They seem to do very well on it. So very adaptable bird that I can't really speak highly enough about. If I were to talk about anything that maybe I don't like about them, I can't come up with anything right now. So
no, you get a little upset when you're trying to do the piles and they want to get up underneath your feet and you think you're going to step on them.
I know.
You're like, ladies, get away.
I know. You really have to watch them because they do get up on you. And I actually had one that I wound up running over with the wheelbarrow, and that was not too cool. She's fine, but you just they are very inquisitive. They are very friendly, and so you do have to be mindful of stepping on one or running over one of them with a wheelbarrow or something. I think that one's going to be a rooster, to be quite honest. Looks like a rooster, and it looks like an Americana, so that'll be good. We get those genetics in the flock. If we can get an Americana rooster, I'd be okay with that, as long as he's got a good attitude, because the last one we had, he had to go.
It's just one that we have no idea, really.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Yeah, there's Squatty right there.
The stated claim for the Novogen Brown is by 20 weeks of age, they are already laying eggs at 50% of their maximum yield. And during the first 72 weeks of production, they will lay a total of 395 large to extra large dark brown eggs with thick shells. This breed is said to be calm with excellent feed conversion, meaning they convert chicken feed to eggs at a highly efficient rate. They will lay 4 to 6 eggs per week and are adaptable to any number of environments, from housing to free range, and are said to be heat and cold tolerant. After now having these birds for well over a year, it's easy for me to give an honest assessment of their actual performance. They met or exceeded all of the stated claims and performed exceptionally well in the area of egg production. They exceeded what was stated as 4 to 6 per week, and these birds gave us on average 6 to 7 eggs per week, and they've done so since they've been in production. Even though the days are becoming shorter and the hens are well into the molt, the egg production in this cycle has not yet begun to fall. About the only area that I cannot confirm is in respect to the cold hardiness of this bird. Overall, I've been extremely happy with these birds. I don't have much negative to say regarding their performance, and I will be continuing to seek out and add their genetics to our flock in the future.
And if you have a favorite chicken, please leave us a comment. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our future and upcoming videos. See you in the next video.
See you later.